martini? What are you going to do all winter?
This. We'll come up with different things.
Really?
We'll sign some minor leaguers. We'll have a prospect from the Dominican Republic stop in St. Louis, and we'll just start playing this.
Maybe Jim was playing that for the Cubs, hiring Dale Swain.
Hey, if you guys want to own the Budweiser theme, that's fine.
Okay.
I thought old style was you guys more your style.
Back out here at Jake's Furnishings, located at 1100 Woodlawn Road, the furniture guy Jake Johnston, Josh Komnick, and the voice of the Railers, Jeff Benjamin. Jeff, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, morning. It's that time of year again.
Yes, it is. And join WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com for all exciting Lincoln Railer basketball action beginning Monday, November 21st for the annual Eaton Holiday Thanksgiving Tournament with broadcasters Jeff Benjamin and Josh Komnick, me. And make sure to tune in early for the John Clem Farm Credit Services Crop Specialist and Dr. Alyssa Schneider at Schneider Chiropractic Center Josh Komnick pregame show, along with the halftime and postgame show featuring Railer coach Neil Alexander. Also today, join Jim from the Lincoln Country Morning Show and Jeff number 2 from the new Nighttime Fix 96 live from 11 to 1 at Blades Hair and Nail Salon, LLC, located at 241 Madigan Drive in Lincoln. Today for the Blades annual holiday open house. There will be refreshments, tons of product, and service specials, and Jeff number 2 will have his prize vault in tow. The Blades Hair and Nail Salon annual holiday open house going on now until 4 o'clock today. And as we have brought the voice of the Railers in today, Jake, it's that time of year, Jeff. Basketball season is right around the corner where our lives are even more busier.
Yeah, it's we're going to be seeing a lot more of each other, that's for sure. And, there was Meet the Railers the other night, so you get your first glimpse of this year's squad. Of course, there's a lot of scoring that left last year that have moved on to other athletic endeavors. And it's not like you can keep people around for a 5th, 6th, and 7th year.
We can only hope.
Yeah, you can only play with the folks that go out, and there may not be a lot of scoring that's coming back, but there's some experienced kids,
Sure.
Some kids that had a lot of minutes, and now it's just going to be a key of finding where those points are going to come from.
Yeah, and I think if anything, of course, the coach is always going to get the guys to play the defense. Like he's always talked for years, it doesn't take a whole lot of ability to be able to play defense. It's more heart and will and want to go after it and that kind of things. But I think this year will be can we score enough points to win? You can do a great job of holding the team to 40 points, but this year can we get over the hump of scoring 45 or 43 or something like that, enough, I guess, just to win? And that will be the when you lose Jordan Nelson, Nathaniel Smith, Brant Coyne, we talked about earlier, somewhere around 70% of your scoring from last year. I was going to guess somewhere, just guessing, I don't have the stats in front of me, but 40-some points, I'm guessing. Nelson was a little over 20, I think. Smith was 14, 15, somewhere there, and I think Coyne chipped in 7, 8, 9, and you're right around 40, which is a big number to try and make up.
Well, and the other thing is those were always guys that could create their own shot. If you really needed a shot to be taken, one of those 3, you could get on the ball, and they were comfortable doing so. Now you're going to have players who, over the past couple of years, have been in a position to make sure they got the ball to those scorers.
Sure.
Now they're the ones that are going to have to take that shot, and are they going to be comfortable doing it? I don't think they would lack for the confidence, but when you get in that game situation and you need that shot, you're not going to have the players that you've had in the past that are willing to take the shot. You're going to have to see, and I'm sure the coaching staff is trying to instill in the players, they're not here. We can't worry about them. What was it? Was it Rick Pitino who said, Kevin McHale and Larry Bird aren't going to come walking through that door anytime soon. Jordan's in Evansville, Nathaniel's at Loris, Brant's with the golf. They're not here, so the players that are on the roster that we saw this week at Meet the Railers, those are the ones. That's this year's team, and that's who you're going to win and lose with.
Yeah, and we've come back with, like you said, some experience, but yet some younger guys too. With we'll go through the names, of course, when Coach gets here, but there's experience of the guys that have been there, Kirby and Gessner and the big guy. Christian, yes, Van Hook. I was losing. See, I need to get back. I'm ready to get back.
It was that Cardinal theme. I think it's messed us all up.
Well, we've been listening to it for months now. But that experience, can you mix that experience in with the youth that have either just played freshman or some sophomore and not a whole lot of varsity, and seeing the type of competition that the Railers play, beginning right off into the Eaton tournament, where there's teams that are, of course, Champaign Centennial, Morton's back, teams that are very good. Will we be ready for the competition right away?
Well, one thing Jeff, the new sports editor at the Courier, mentioned when he went out to the Lincoln College games was the speed of the game, just how much different it was. And I think that's one of the things that you always hear from level to level to level, whatever the sport is, going from high school to college football even, or from college football to pro football, is the one thing that is so different and that changes the way people play is the speed of the game, getting used to the speed. So the players that have played on the freshman level or played JV, well, now you're going to be stepping in with, the Lanphiers and the Glenwoods and the Southeasts, and, just it's a little bit different than what you've had to put up with in maybe going to, the tournament down in Taylorville or something like that. So I think this will be a different year than what we've been used to seeing for the Railers, but I don't think we'll have to worry about the effort.
No.
Because I don't think Coach Alexander will allow for anyone to be out there who's not putting forth the effort. And the kids that are coming back, you've got some hard-nosed kids that are willing to stick their nose in there. And if you've got that, look what happened last night in college football with Oklahoma State and Iowa State. As long as you give your best, you've always got a shot.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of the Central State 8s dropped off a little bit too. I mean, we've lost a lot of talent throughout the Central State 8s. So.
Yeah, you talked about the speed, and I think even more than the speed is the strength.
Yes.
The strength of sophomore to varsity is a ton bigger, stronger, as we say, bigger, stronger, faster. But can we? Yes, exactly right. Can we stay with the Central State 8 teams? Springfield will be good again. Lanphier will be quick and fast as usual. There's just a lot of teams, and I think this is going to be a team, as you said, where sometimes we're just as equally talented or more talented, and that we don't quite play as hard as we have to because we just have a little more ability. I think this year it's going to be more one of those grinded-out games or grinded-out teams where if we don't give 100% every game and we're on top of our A game, it could get ugly at times against some of the better teams. But if we're playing the defense, if we're playing as hard as we should, it's going to be a fun year to watch these guys get better, because I think maybe as in any year, this will be a year where we have to improve from the first part to the second part to the regionals. We'll have to improve as much as anybody in order to make a run in the state tournament.
Lincoln has never been the biggest team or the strongest team in the Central State 8, and like you said, we've always relied on great shooters, the defense, and this year that's just going to be amplified. The shots are going to have to be a little bit better. The defense is going to have to be a little bit stronger. But there have been years before where a number of really good players have graduated, and there's question marks coming into the season. Well, what are we going to do without this guard? What are we going to do without this leader? And some way, somehow, Coach Alexander and his staff over there always find a way to get as much out of the team as possible. And there's no reason that this is not going to be a 2-win team.
No.
I mean, this team has still got some good players. There's some young players, I think, that are going to contribute. It'll be interesting to see how the rotation goes, how deep in the bench he will go and pull some of the younger players, because there's some sophomores that could get some time. Really impressed with a couple of the freshmen on Meet the Railers. So, I'm sure Coach Alexander has in mind what he wants to do, and now it's just a matter of putting it out on the floor and see what happens. And Monday night, that starts. Yeah,
it won't take long. We'll figure out. I'm sure Coach has it figured out. If not, we'll find out when he gets in here at Jake's Furnishings. But it just takes that little bit to the first game. I think the first week is Coach Al likes to bring in that competition to see where exactly they are. There's no reason to play the cupcakes and do the things. Play the good teams and get them in there and see where we're at and see what we can do. And this team will find out right away, like you said, Monday night. Jeff and Jake, we're going to take a real quick commercial break here from the Jakes. Furnishings, located at 1100 Woodlawn Road. It looks like Coach has let the guys out a little early or just got tired of yelling at them. So he's here at the furniture store. So we're going to take a break and then bring Coach on here. 96.3 FM and WLCN online.com. Back out here at Jake's Furnishings, located at 1100 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Open 7 days a week. Phone 735-1212 or go online to jakesfurnishings.com. You're in the cheap seats. Josh Komnick, the voice of the Railers, Jeff Benjamin, and Lincoln Railer head basketball coach, Coach Neil Alexander. Coach, thanks for stopping in this morning.
Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. Hey, also want to remind you to join WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com for all of the exciting Lincoln Railer basketball action beginning Monday, November 21st. That's this Monday for the annual Eaton Holiday Thanksgiving Tournament with broadcasters Jeff Benjamin and Josh Komnick. And make sure you tune in early for the John Clem Farm Credit Services crop specialist and Dr. Alyssa Schneider at Schneider Chiropractic Center, Josh Komnick pregame show, along with halftime and postgame show featuring LCHS head basketball coach, Coach Alexander. Coach, practice this morning, 2 weeks in now. Overall assessment of the Railers.
Well, we've got a lot of kids that are changing the roles on their team, and it's going to take some time for them to adjust on how we have to play. The system hadn't changed a whole lot, but you got kids that's going to move from one place to the other, and it's going to take some time. We're not very big. In fact, our freshmen and sophomores are bigger than our varsity, so it's something that we've got to really iron out. You went through the same thing. The two-a-days was the last one was yesterday, and the kids are pretty much dragging right now. So we just practiced this morning, trying to let them get their legs back under them. But it was pretty sluggish this morning. So we got a lot of work to do. We just got to be patient with them. It's a good group. I think it's going to be fun to watch. We have to get back to where we're going to have to win games with our defense. I think the last 3 or 4 years we've had some offensive skills, and we're going to have to really, really buckle our belts up and play some defense. Yeah, Coach. It just seemed like a couple of months ago you were on the show and kind of talking about the last game that we had for last year, and all the way already we're here with a game Monday, and real quickly. Jeff and Coach, let's go through the schedule for next week, Monday, November 21st. This is all out at Lincoln. Well, not all of them are at Lincoln, but anyway, Champaign and Centennial plays Danville at Danville. That's Monday night at 7:30. The first game at Lincoln is going to be Seton Academy versus Morton, and Cahokia against Lincoln is at 7:30 on Monday. Coach, Seton Academy, a new team that I haven't been aware of, but obviously you've brought them in because they can probably make us better. Well, I think it's 3 years ago, Seton Academy beat Peoria Manual in the state championship game. So they won a championship, I believe it's 3 years ago. They were like 31-2 or something. And we just got their roster, I think, yesterday late, and they're 6'8", 6'9". That's probably bigger than us. Well, we can go back through all the rosters. Cahokia runs 6'8", 6'8", 6'6", 6'6", 6'5", 6'5". That's Cahokia. Morton 6'10", 6'9". 6'10". Let's see. Danville's close to us. They've got a couple 6'5" guys, but other than that, we're going to be biting our knees. Oh, well, okay, well, we'll go on from that. And then Wednesday, Morton and Champaign Centennial play at 5 o'clock. Cahokia against Seton Academy. All these games are at Lincoln. And Lincoln versus Danville at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. Friday, November the 25th, Danville takes on Seton Academy at 5. Morton and Cahokia at 6:30. And Champaign Centennial against Lincoln at 8 o'clock Friday night. Saturday morning, November the 26th, 10 a.m., Lincoln versus Seton Academy. Champaign Centennial takes on Cahokia at 11:30, and Danville and Morton square off at 1. And then the last games of the tournament, 5 o'clock, Seton Academy and Champaign Centennial. Cahokia and Danville at 6:30, and Morton and Lincoln at 8 o'clock. So, Coach, as always, you look through the teams, a lot of competition, and, there's reasons you set it up that way. Well, they're all good teams, and, it could have gone any way that we wanted. we're going to have to play exceptionally well to compete in this thing. For some reason, our tournament's pretty good to start the year, and to play 5 games right out of the chute like that is, I think it makes you better. It prepares you for the season, and if you don't want to play Class A schools, and you're going to win, but yet you're not going to be challenged in things, and we want to be challenged to be. Our goal is to be advance as far as we can to state tournament at the end of the year, and it's always been that. So I think playing this type of competition, you got Morton, who was a super sectional team last year, and they've got everybody back.
Wow.
So they're going to really be they're going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Should be a great tournament.
Coach, this tournament, as you said, has never been set up to get 5 easy wins for the Railers. It's always been getting different views of teams from different areas around the state, because somewhere down the line you are hoping to run into places from around the state in sectionals and regionals and things like that. Well, that's one of the reasons we play a lot of them, and we like bringing them from the south, from the north, and bring them, everywhere, and in the past, a long time ago when I first got here, we always rotated to the north in the state tournament. Well, when they changed to the 4 class, we've been going south, and now they've messed with the alignments and things of the or the enrollments. So, I really don't know where we're going to go. I don't know, whether we'll be in the same regional. I don't understand. That's a whole other story. But we've got some new teams that are going to be 3A. Rantools bumped up to a 3A. Rochester's a 3A. Now, where are they going to send them? U-High went from 3A to 2A. U-High's good enough to win the 2A state championship. So there's just a lot of movement. I think Chillicothe IVC went from 2 to 3A. So there's just a lot of rotation going around. East St. Louis from 4 to 3A. So it's just a lot of different scenarios that's going to happen, and the alignment, I believe, comes out the first part of December on the assignments, who got the regionals and so forth. So we'll be waiting here in a couple weeks to see hopefully where and who we got in our regionals. Coach, real quick, you mentioned IVC. IVC, along with Mahomet Seymour, new to the Railer schedule this year.
Well, those are teams that have a 1-year contract where they come here. So we try to find 2 teams that are willing to come here and play on a 1-year contract. So those are the 2. Next year we got Glenbrook South and Mattoon, I believe, are the 2 that's coming in. So we've got those spots already filled. So our schedule's fallen in place. We've just got to realign for next year. We've already got next year's pretty much completed.
Coach, just looking through the roster, and we were talking about it earlier before you came on, replacing the scoring, and how can the Railers basically, and the stat man, Mr. Benjamin, had brought up somewhere around 70% of the scoring gone. I was figuring on close to 40 to 42 points, somewhere around there, just off the top of my head. Without Nelson, without Smith, without Coyne, where are the Railers going to see some points coming from this year?
Well, I don't think we have any one that's going to take over and score lots for us. Christian Van Hook, I think has the potential to do that. I think if he gets active on the boards, he could score 6, 8, 10 points on the offensive glass if he'll just go get it for us. And, he shot the 3 very well this summer. And I think he's more of a face-up player, where for us he needs to be a back to the basket. I think Austin Kirby's going to have to increase his. Jordan Gesner, or one of the guys that had one of the better shooting summers was Jake Olson. Really shot the ball exceptionally well, but he's so small. And then you got Will Podbelsic, who's been shooting the ball. But between Will and Jake, both of them shoots. I'm stretching them to get them to 5'8", and it's hard to put them on the floor at the same time. But I'm sure there's going to be some teams that we're going to be able to do that.
Coach, we've always had, it seems like, even from back as far as I can remember, some guy you always knew that year was going to be a shooter, whether it was a Harmson or whether it was a Pickering or a Farmer or somebody that we knew was going to hit 4 or 5 threes a game. It just seemed like we always had one of those guys. do we have that guy this year that is going to be able to make the threes and be that what a lot of people think is Railers is not only a 1-2-2, but a group of guys that can put it in from behind the line?
Well, if we, on a given night, I think we have somebody. I don't think you're going to see somebody do it on a consistent basis to get 3, 4, 5 every night. But I think we'll just have to fight through it and find the one that has a hot hand. And I think Christian can do that. I think Jordan Gesner. I think Austin can. Jake can. Pod can. But I don't think they can do it every night.
Right.
I think that it's going to be a different guy that's going to do that.
We're hoping they can every night.
Yeah. Well, that'd make my job easier. But the potential's there, and it's just Edward Bowlby can step out and hit. All our guys can shoot the three. But on a given day, we're going to have to find other ways to score.
Coach, how important is the depth of this team going to be this year?
I think that's probably the most strongest point that we have is the depth that we have. That if we're not going to play hard, we got somebody that can replace you. And also, we have to play. We just have to get down on the floor and play as hard as we can defensively. And I think that's going to force us to play more kids.
Yeah, and it looks like counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors, Coach. A strong looks like sophomore class where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sophomores, 1 freshman thrown in there, several juniors. So not only of course we've got stretches of some experience, but we've got some guys in there that have only had either freshman or sophomore experience, which we talked about earlier, is a whole different ball game when you go from sophomore to varsity level guys.
Oh, no doubt. And but it's just like freshmen becoming sophomores. Out of all 4 classes, when they jump from freshman to sophomore, that's the biggest change you see in kids. And our sophomores they're big and burly, and Max Cook has really been playing well. He's another one that could be one of those players that could put some points on the board. So right now we're looking at him at our point guard. We're trying to get Jake off the point guard because he's so small, and try to get a bigger guard handling the ball, and Max can do that. So we just want to try to use what we have, but we've got to try to get them in positions that they can be successful.
And Coach, it doesn't seem this is what, your 22nd year here at Lincoln? 21st.
Well,
So and you've seen you always talk about it as we get close to the end of the year, how you talk to the seniors at the beginning of the year and say the 4 years go very quickly, and now we've got another group of seniors, including Austin, your grandson. Did you ever think when you started out that you would be coaching your grandson, and now you've coached him all the way through his senior year?
No, not at all. But it's been pretty special. It's not like coaching your own kid. It's a different, whole different thing. As grandparents know, grandkids are pretty special, and it's hard for me to get after him like I did my 2 boys. That was pretty easy.
You still got one coming too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey guys, we got to call it quits here out at Jake's Furnishings, but we want to thank everybody for coming in. And remember, WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com will have the Railer game. That is Monday, November the 21st, Cahokia against Lincoln. That game starts at 7:30. Jeff, we'll go on probably around 7 o'clock.
Sounds good.
Barring what the first game before us is going in. That first game will be Seton Academy against Morton, which Coach says will be as far as the size-wise I'm going by, will be a good matchup, right, Coach?
There'll be a lot of college-sized athletes on the floor this week.
Yeah, so come on and out to Roy S. Anderson and take a look at the 2011 Eaton Electrical Round Robin Tournament. Coach, thanks for coming in, and as always, bring us a W starting Monday.
Well, we're going to try.
All right. Voice of the Railers, Jeff Benjamin. Jeff, thanks for coming in.
Certainly.
And we will be together back starting another season Monday night.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, for Josh Komnick, the furniture guy, Jake Johnston, Jeff Arenz comes in from the Lincoln Courier, Jeff Benjamin, the voice of the Railers, and head coach Neil Alexander. Well, that'll do it here from Jake's Furnishings, located at 1100 Woodlawn Road. Check out Blades Hair and Nail Salon, number 2. And Jim will be there from 11 to 1 today, and the open house goes on until 4 o'clock. So that's going to do it here from Jake's Josh Komnick, we'll see you next week.